Well, I got a really deep one for you guys today. I believe in origins and where names and words come from have very important meaning, and that they don't just call it something just for fun, that they know the root and the origin and the source of where it comes from. So this is going to be a longer video, so please 2 times it if you need to, but there's a lot of good information in here. The etymology of Disney originates from the Norman French surname de Isigny, or de Isigny, however you say it, meaning of or from Isigny or Isigny, however you say it. The name Isigny is of Gallo-Roman origin, so that's what really matters, the origin, from a place name possibly derived from the personal name Isinius and the located suffix acum. The name was Latinized from a possible Germanic or Gaulish root word meaning iso or Isinia. So we go to the root name. It is based on the personal name Isinius, which is Latinized form of the Gaulish name Isinia or Isinia. The etymology of Isinia varies depending on its origin, but it could refer to the name of the ancient Mesopotamian goddess. That's the first thing it says, and that's like gonna be the earliest origin. In the ancient Sumerian and Akkadian, the name is associated with the goddess Nin Isinia, Lady of Isen, because Nin means lady or queen. It's a label used for goddesses in Mesopotamian mythology, where Isen refers to the city in Mesopotamia. As you can see right here, Nin is lady, queen, or mistress, and goddesses, the prefix Nin was commonly used in the name of goddesses to indicate a noble or divine feminine status. And then you can see examples in here. Pause and read if you want to. For males, Nin can mean Lord. So these are all the fallen angels, by the way. Well, these are some of them, but these are all fallen angels. That's what I meant. So pay attention to this, because if you follow me, you know that I believe that the old world is really North America, and they've been lying to us this whole time. And I'm going to show you plenty of evidence on why I think this. So Isen was an ancient city in southern Mesopotamia, modern Iraq. It is a significant religious center with the goddess Nisinya. It became a capital of the prominent Mesopotamian dynasty around 1953. It was a significant religious center with goddess Nisinya, or Gula, because that's her other name. And the city lost its independence to Larsa and later Babylon. So Walt Disney, whose last name means of Isinya, and I just showed you the earliest origins Isinya could go back to, of Isinya, and he's from Chicago, Illinois, that was called Chirac. Chirac is a slang term that combines Chicago and Iraq to refer to the city of Chicago, particularly its violent neighborhoods, comparing the high rates of gun violence to war zone. The term was popularized by Chicago rapper King Louie, and it gained further traction through other rappers, and eventually 2015 film Chirac. The term Chirac, that producer Spike Lee has adopted as the name of his controversial film, is based on a single Iraq war statistic from 2003 to 2012. Daily Mail, because that was just the news that just was talking about that, and the other one, ABC. Chirac crisis explodes as defiant Illinois governor dares Trump with fiery threat. Now, I believe this map is pretty accurate. I don't think it's fully accurate, because I think Babylon is more to up northeast towards it's New York City. Babylon's New York City, so it'd be more northeast. But I do believe this map is pretty accurate. I think Egypt's also more to the east, like towards Tennessee. Because that's the capital, as Elon Musk said, because they do tell his truth in plain sight like that when he said that Memphis, Tennessee was the capital of ancient Egypt. Well, he said Memphis, but they were clearly talking about Tennessee when he said it. And then that Mississippi River is really the Nile that pours into the Egyptian Sea, as it says right there, which would be the Gulf. And Mesopotamia is right where it should be, as you can see, and it covers all from there more northeast, I believe. From there to more northeast, which would make it kind of ironic that Walt Disney's born in Chirac. And his name happens to mean ruler of the army or powerful warrior. And then his last name is of Isinya, whose main place was Isen, which was a city in southern Mesopotamia and modern Iraq. Here's things that represented Nin Isinya. Dog. The dog is her most common identifying symbol, linked to her role as healing goddess. This association may stem from the belief that dogs' saliva had healing properties, or that they could escort diseased demons away from the living. A scalpel. A scalpel is a symbol of Nisinya, reflecting her skill in healing and surgical procedures. The great robe. Text indicates she may have worn a great robe, like judges, doctors, possibly a protective garment for a medical practitioner. Chicago has a lot of dog statues, ironically. It's kind of weird. And this one has the number 6 on it. And you got this one that has a lot of things on it. It has a wolf. It has a crescent moon. It has the 2 stars that are 6-pointed. It has a snake wrapped around a sword at the bottom leg. I don't know if y'all can see that. It has a lightning bolt on it. And they had over 100 dog statues that were on display in Chicago. Most of them were standing guard along Michigan Avenue. And this is the healing goddess with Ninosina with a dog on a kuduru. And Chicago has at least 2 famous kudurus, the Chicago Stone and the kuduru of the Meli Shipak II, which are housed at the Oriental Institute of the University of Chicago and the Art Institute of Chicago, respectively. A kuduru is an ancient Mesopotamian boundary stone, typically a stone or clay tablet that records land grants and other legal transactions and is protected by curses and divine symbols. The Chicago Stone is an ancient Mesopotamian kuduru from the early dynastic period 2600 BC. It's also referred to as the kuduru with a record of 15 purchased lands and transfers of land. Why is it called Chicago Stone? Isn't that kind of weird? Why would y'all call it the Chicago Stone if it has nothing to do with Chicago? Chirac? It was discovered in the region of Kashar near Sipar. The stone is flat on one side, convex on the other, and has rounded edges. They have the kuduru of Meli Shipak II. This kuduru is a collection of the Art Institute of Chicago, dates to the Kassite period, and is considered a famous example of the genre. It records a land grant, features symbolic representations of deities to protect the transaction. Kudurus like this one were public records meant to stand at the boundary of the granted land. Why would we have these in Chicago in the first place? The name Isina actually misspelled, or Isinya, and is a misspelling of Inanna, it says, but this was just me accidentally misspelling it. And as a Mesopotamian goddess who became associated with a pack of hunting dogs, previously her sister goddess, the healing goddess Gula, who's literally Isinya, was one with the canine companions. As Inanna, who's really Ishtar, absorbed Gula's healing powers, her dogs were said to become her own pack, noted in a temple at Isin called the Doghouse. Mesopotamia being the land between 2 rivers, and you got the Missouri and the Mississippi right there. It's clear as day. That's why where he's born and who it says he comes from is very important. The origins are very important.